Again, the same problems always elude West Ham, isn't it? It's a slow first half, second half team, and their away form as well. Just one win in 7 Premier League away games. How concerning are those stats for you?
The stats aren't good, but as David Moyes has just explained, you know, that if you'll be more worried if the team's not playing well. They are playing well. Yes, the first half they were a bit sluggish to start with, gave the ball away at the back too easy. But second half, they grew into the game. They were creating opportunities. It is that fine margins because it can't keep happening. They did that at Liverpool, did it again tonight. But he'll be pleased with the performance. He's just going to be really disappointed that they can't get these points. Last season, these points were coming. They were getting them goals. And you were getting something out of a game that you really did well in the second half for. So it's a bit disappointing, but if the performances stay at this level, the goals will come with the quality that they have in the squad.
But to always have a slow start, Gary, that's always a huge risk. I mean, as we've seen today, despite a really much improved second half, because of what happened in the first half, you can't come back points.
Well, I suppose the situation for a club that you would look at the moment would be Liverpool conceding the first goal in games. Eventually it catches up with you, and it's certainly caught up with Liverpool, hasn't it? So yes, West Ham didn't play as well in the first half, and they're a goal down. So you've got to score 2 to win the game, haven't you? So it makes it difficult. Why does a team start slowly? I guess this is the question that David Moyes needs to come up with the answer to, and I think it's just a mentality thing, isn't it? And I've been in sides in the past. Come on, we must start quick today, and for some reason we aren't able to. Maybe because of the opposition, but I think West Ham, and Moyes said this in his interview before the game. He said we are improving, and they have improved as this season has gone on, and we're about a third of the way through it. So, there's plenty of time still for them to continue to improve and get further up the table than they are at the moment, and closer to where they've been over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, I think it applies for not just West Ham, I think it applies for every team as well. You want to get in the best position possible before they break off for the World Cup, and there's only 2 weekends left of that in the Premier League. But Mikel Antonio came on in the second half. A little bit disappointed he came on for Scamacca rather than to go alongside Scamacca, Matt.
Yeah, of course, it would be nice to see the two of them link up. They've only played a few minutes together.
I think 30 minutes or so together, that's it.
Yeah, West Ham fans would love to see the two of them together, but you are then going you're leaving yourself a bit vulnerable, but we spoke about it when we were watching it, you're 1-0 down. Would you rather go for it and be 2-0, lose 2-0, or to still lose 1-0, but trying to win it, trying to get back in it? So there was the option of doing that. But Antonio, I said before, he can play on the wing. He used to play on the wing. You can keep Scamacca, you can keep him on, you can keep that momentum for the two of them. Yeah. He's such a handful, you can see it. But the United defenders, especially Martinez, who was marking him, he liked the challenge. So he had chances. He had 2 headers that Darlow took off him, and he had that strike that went straight to De Gea. Yeah. So he put himself about.
Yeah. Can managers sometimes be a little bit stubborn in their perception of their player and what they view their player as? David Moyes seemed to view Mikel Antonio as a striker, a pure out-and-out striker, and he's not an out-and-out striker. Even in games as well, even if he starts in the centre-forward position, more often than not he drifts to the side before coming in. Can managers be a bit stubborn?
Well, I think managers can be stubborn, like all of us can be stubborn from time to time. But you can have a striker who plays basically between the width of the goalposts, and you can have a striker like Antonio who likes to spin out and run down the channels for balls over the top because he's a very athletic player. He's strong and he's got power and pace. I look back to that game, and you've just touched on, should Scamacca and Antonio both have played or played 2 up top? Well, I think the chances that West Ham carved out towards the end of the game, after they'd made the substitution, backed up David Moyes in that they did enough to create enough chances, but what they didn't manage to do was stick one away. You mentioned the Bowen chance that he had, for example. And Declan Rice hits the shot and the keeper, De Gea, makes a great save. So I don't think David Moyes got it wrong by doing a 1-for-1 up the top end.
He also had a yellow card, Skamaka, and he had a couple of challenges that were...
Which could have been...
I think that also came into his mind.
Yeah, I would agree.